Right. Continuation of payable setup. Thanks, Navneet. Continuation of payable setups. So for an invoice, the setups already we completed, like, procurement agent, and then roles, data access, LDAP, lookups, pay group and supplier type, payment terms. If you are using common set, there is no problem to create a payment term. Common option, invoice option, payment option, and then supplier approval, supplier address, site assignment. Then we can open the period and we can do the transaction. But now I'm going to explain, like, payment part also. So that is why I'll complete the setup related to payment. And then we will get into our invoice and all. So several invoices I'm going to create. What all I went for many implementation or a training. So which company, what are all the type of invoices and which scenario they are using. These are all elaborately we are going to discuss. So transactions point of view, I leave it to you. One or two here and there you can do the practice. But setup point of view, you're all implementation consultant. Definitely you have to do the setups for all the module. Even if you are doing a transaction, I'm very happy. Anyway, I will give you the Excel, what are all the lab you supposed to do, what is possible related to transaction, optional, but setup you have to complete. Clear? Fine. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. So continuation of our setup. So listen carefully. Supplier, it is owned by TCA. Supplier site assignment, it is owned by, I told you, it is procurement infusion. In EBS, it is owned by payable. Similarly, bank and branch owned by TCA. Bank account owned by legal entity and business unit. So, business unit. We have to provide the data access related to legal entity. So, first I'm going to create a bank. So, there is a three type of bank accounts are there. One, our internal. Two, that is supplier bank account. When we are making a payment related to electronic, it is mandatory. And then customer bank, when we are receiving a payment from customer by way of electronic, then it is mandatory. That we will do it in the relevant topic. So now I'm straight away going to create how to create our bank. It's a training instance. I already told you some of that US based information has been already incorporated, uploaded. Yes, Sai, is there any questions?
No, boss.
Okay, all right. When you people are unmute, I feel you have any questions. So because it's online training, right? So each and every information I have to check it out. And that's why. All right, fine. So now I'm going to define a bank and branch. It can be done under FSM window. Internal bank can be created under FSM. So supplier bank, it will created under supplier window. Customer bank, it will be created under customer window. It will be created under customer window. So let me create my bank. Everybody, you can create your bank, branch, everything with your own prefix, no problem. Setup and maintenances. Setup and maintenances. This instance, it will work 1 month. Even after the training, if you want to do P2P, O2C, many advanced topic also, you can continue from this. Anyway, your company instance also available. Choice is yours. One advantage structure and all when we completed in this instance, right? More easy to do your advanced topics. Clear? All right. So now let me navigate to financial. So manage data, banks. Manage banks. So I can create a bank. Raja, normally no prefix suffix for bank. For our class, we are creating our own. So United space S tab. You will be getting United States. And then your number HSBC Bank. Your number HSBC Bank. Description, copy the same and paste it. in real time. So bank code, tax ID, registration number and all mandatory. For our class, we can leave it as blank. Alternative bank also optional. Address, registered office for the respective. So my number HSBC 123. Postal code 10,001. Don't tab it. Wait for like a drop down and then you can choose it. If you take a tab it, so then what will happen? There is a small error will come in this particular education instance. Now click on OK, set as default. I don't want contact information and then save and close. Any questions? No. Second, I want to place the cursor here. If you already created a branch, we can view from here. Otherwise, you can select and create a branch, or you can come back with a separate navigation called Manage Banks branch. Manage branch. So now I'm going to click on Create New. So while you are creating a branch, bank account should be selected as a list of value. So Bhaskaran HSBC New York branch. New York branch. Routing number, it is purely related to United States. It is already uploaded, I told you, because it's a training instance. If I put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then I'm going to complete my address. In the address, I'm going to select some different address, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Postal code, I told you, don't tab it. So wait for that information has to come and then click on OK, set as a default. Now, if you save the routing number, it will shout. So the proper routing number has to be entered for New York branch. So the routing number 123420. Now, if I save, it will accept. Raja, comfortable? Comfortable, everyone? This is already validated through our TCA, nothing else. Okay, no worries. All right, so now click on save and close. If you want, you can make a note of it. Otherwise, it is there in the Excel. This is the one I've given either this or this. It is related to New York. Comfortable? That is a routing number. Next, I'm going to create bank account. So you can create a separate navigation from here itself. If you select, then it will inherit our branch and bank automatically. So now I'm going to use like a account name, Bhaskaran HSBC current account. Current account. Account number, I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your prefix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is our default currency, USD, which is our legal entity you have to associate here. So this code for Bhaskaran, it is coming automatically. Why? Because he is used like a rapid. But you people are going to type it manually. So please make a note of it. So I entered the account name, I entered account number, currency, and then legal entity name. Then checking means it is nothing but our current account in US. Copy and paste related to description. This bank, I want to use it for payable as well as receivable. If you not enable receivable, then you can create another bank account also possible. Clear? Right. Now I will move on to our general tab. If please make a note of it, 01-000-1111000. It came with the help of our rapid. Otherwise, you have to type it manually if you are doing like a individual task. Cash clearing 1250. Cash clearing 1250. Reconciliation difference, I can put like a bank charges 7870. 7870. This is my bank charges. If you want, you can give, or you can give. This is legal entity level. This bank, it is allowed for multi-currency other than USD. Then you should enable here. You should enable here. Otherwise, other than USD, you can't do it. Any API or netting bank, if you want to use, then you can use netting account here. Then you can use netting account. So which we are not going to use. Netting account, you never get bank statement from our banker. It is purely for our netting of your AP and AR purpose we can create. So it is no netting. That is why we have not enabled here. Payable document, we will come back later, and then we will go to our security controls and all. We will do it in the relevant cash management topic. So now I will go to business unit access. So now I associating my business unit. It is not a start date, it's an end date. Don't put anything here. Bank charges, what we are going to give here. Previously, what we have given, that is for legal entity level. Here, what we are going to give, that is related to our business unit level. Realized gain, realized loss, that we have to give. Now 7830, 7840. Or you can give both are same account, also not possible. For category numbering point of view, if you want, you can select the category payment method here for numbering. Otherwise, we can choose at the time of making a payment. It is very useful in real time during our implementation. So now I completed a bank and then I associated my business unit. Now I'm going to create a payable document for check payment. Payable document for check payment. Payable document for check payment. So Bhaskaran AP check. So it's a blank or pre-numbered. I can select. Format for a training, I'm going to use standard check format. So standard check format. How this has to be bring here through the disbursement, we can bring it here. Through the disbursement, we can bring it here. So what is our number? Normally in India, 6 digit, in US, 8 digit. Our class, it is 4 digit. So 1000 to 999. This is numbering related to our check. For electronic numbering, it's not mandatory. For a check, it is equivalent to the what the number we received from the banker, that has to be incorporated. Any new checkbooks, you can add it here in the later point of time. And then standard check format properly has to be selected. It is useful for our training. And then save and close. Bank ready, branch ready, and then bank account ready, payable document also ready. Now I will move on to manage payment process profile. Manage payment process profile. So this is the one I told you we used our standard check format that I'm going to associate it to my own prefix here. It's not a mandatory setup. We can straight away type like a standard check format during our payment. It will work. So by AP, so you can say check PPP. Check PPP. Date, very, very important. Otherwise, pre-date, it's not possible. File format, we are using standard check format. Printed means like a check. Electronic means like our file. Likewise, we can use that file you are going to send it to the banker. They are going to take a printout of our check. You can select the first radio button, or you are directly connected to the printer. That is also you can select. We are using like a test server as our default printer. Default printer. Otherwise, leave it as blank. And we can do our grouping also possible, and overall going to be a recipient and all, we can very well set it for our training. So straight away, I just click on save and close. So now we are ready, set for transaction as well as payment. So can we enter a transaction or invoice or a manual transaction straight away? Anyone? Can I enter now? Based on the setups, can I create any manual invoice now? Possible or not?
Possible.
Possible. Okay. Pratyusha?
Yeah, possible.
Oh, is it? Ah, nice. Manila people? Anyone?
Like for payment, I think we need to.
So first we have to open our period.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
Correct. So we have to open. There is a 5 period statuses are there. Never open, future enterable, open, closed, permanently closed. So when we are doing a transaction AP, so GL first period, GL target period. Similarly, for AP also you have to open the period. Clear? Imanshi, understood ma?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are start from our own implementation. We have to start from the scratch. Everything we have to do it, correct? All right. So let me move on to our application. So Oracle, they have given the first period. So it is very well available here, but the best practice, it's not working here for GL. So what is the best practice? We have already given the data access for that respective roles which we have assigned to our user. So let me navigate to GL and period close. GL, general accounting and GL. So it is, click on general ledger. What is our first period? Where this is coming from? Anyone?
When we
Specify ledger option.
yeah
Specify ledger
Ledger
option.
option is absolutely right answer. Super Raja. Specify ledger option is absolutely super. Bale, bale, bale. All right. So if you want, before opening, you can go there and change it and come. Once open, that's all. You can't do any changes. This is our first period. So now what will happen? What will happen? So system will take 3 future period for our class, especially adjustment period we selected as a 1, which is available only in GL. So that is nothing but like, so adjustment and January and February as a future period, it will come under GL. Now I want to set like, all the transaction I want to do it for January 2025. So that's why I'm going to select the target period. What is the meaning of target? At a stage in between from December to Jan 2025, all the period it will be open. All the period it will be open. The icon it will change respectively. This icon it will change respectively. Now February, March, April becomes future enterable period. This is related to our general ledger. If you want to open a payable from here, the best practice, sign out and sign in and open. If not, what will happen? System will ask you the first period is January. System will ask you to select first period is February. So what will happen, right? What all it's open to me, GL, January 2025. It won't show here. We can't choose from here. So to avoid this, what is the best practice? Method number 1, sign out and sign in. Method number 2, you can go to payable and open. That is the best practice. Clear, everyone? So task panel and then manage accounting period. Manage accounting period. Manage accounting period. So manage accounting period. So for my ledger, I just click on the hyperlink. Then you can choose December 2024, very well available. Raja, clear? That if you want to see in the GL, you have to log out and log in. Otherwise, open it in the respective first period. Always you can open it in the respective module is the good practice. Clear? Super. So no adjustment period in our subledgers. So that's why straight away January, February, March, it's our future period. January, February, March, it's a future period. Now I want to open for January straight away. So let me open January. Let me open January. Super. So now we are ready to enter the transaction. What are all the type of invoices we can enter? What are type of invoices? Number 1, it is manual invoice. We can enter manual invoice. That is standard debit memo, credit memo, prepayment, withholding tax, etc. Spreadsheet, which is not available in EBS, which is available in Fusion, that is called, so like a standard credit memo and prepayment. FBDA is totally different. Matching invoice against the purchase order or receipt of goods. Automatic invoice, it was nothing but your interest withholding evaluated receipt settlement, AR payment request, even lease from our fixed assets, etc. Imported invoice, lease additions from fixed assets, FBDI, recurring, etc. So volume we will try to cover for our class. First, I will talk about manual with the standard invoice. So morning I told you what is our application flow. Common option, invoice option, payment option, supplier, address, site assignment. So these are all we completed. In the invoice itself, there is a 4 block. One is invoice header, another one is invoice line, third one is distribution line, fourth one, if you want to manually override, recalculate scheduled payment checkbox got enable. Even you can change the payment term, you can split the payment term, you can override your due date. That is possible. That can be done under installments tab. That is called installments tab. So in the invoice, when we are entering a manual invoice, what are all the statuses are available in the transaction window? What are all the statuses are available in the transaction window? Initially, it is once you saved, it will come as a not validated. After validated, any error, it becomes needs revalidation. No error, it is validated. And then when you are using a cancelled, then it becomes cancelled. These are all for other than prepayment. For prepayment, I will give you different status later. So I'm going to cover 6 topics together one shot. Okay, together one shot. Number 1, we created some 3 distribution set. First of all, distribution set for manual invoice, is it mandatory or not? So that I'm going to explain. So 4 invoices I'm going to enter. Raja, 4 invoices I'm going to enter. 10,250, 11,000, 12,000, and then 13,000. Likewise, I'm going to enter different amount. You can give same amount because I created only one supplier. So with the standard manual invoice, I'm going to enter 1 with the distribution overlay. I'm going to explain with the rent. 2nd, advertisement. 3rd, telephone. 4th, without distribution. So with the distribution, without distribution. So totally 4 invoices I'm going to create. Is it distribution set mandatory or not? To explain the topic. Second topic I'm going to explain, when we are using a distribution set, can I use the same distribution set for more than one account, more than one BSV, more than one cost center? Yes, possible. That is called overlay. What is overlay? I'm going to explain. Override, overlay. The next one I'm going to explain, that is called what is validation. Where and all we can do validation. The next I'm going to explain like a create accounting, draft, final accounting. It is available. Draft, post to ledger, which is there in action window. In the scheduled process window, draft, final, not transferred to GL, final, transferred to GL, unposted, final, post to GL. 4 options are available in the scheduled process. What is the difference? Supplier balance, there is no feature is available at the moment upfront. If you want, we can create our own OTBA kind of like a dashboard or XYZ. And then after a transfer, we can verify the journal entry in the GL. So what is the balances in GL with respect to the control account, and what is the supplier balances in AP? If you want to reconcile, so in EBS, it's very tough. Whereas in Fusion, so with the help of financial category, so we can enjoy this feature with the help of S-base. So first we have to push the information from our Oracle database to S-base, and then we have to run payable to general ledger reconciliation. So these are all I'm going to explain. So before our break, once break is completed, so you are going to tell me, because some of the topic like invoice and all, if you want me to cover, I can cover today. You can do the practice even after 5 o'clock. Otherwise, Ayo Bhaskaran, so many topics are there. In that scenario, then you can do the lab even after 3:45 or 3:40. We'll take a call around 3:30. So now I will move on to how to enter a standard manual invoice. Standard manual invoice with rent distribution, with advertisement, with telephone distribution, without distribution. This is the first topic. Clear? Right. Please make a note of it. So first one, how to create a manual invoice directly in Oracle application in AP module. Please make a note of it. Payable invoices. Place the cursor in recent and then you can click on create. Method number 1. Method number 2, task panel and then create invoice. I think you people are very good, but still, so I will tell you all the steps. All right, you will put a tick mark. Right, Bhaskaran is okay, fine. That's it. All right. So now click on create invoice. Now, most of the time, the participant or a user, they are going to select your business units and all manually. To avoid that, I told you yesterday, like, during our day before yesterday, navigation topic, set preferences, defaulting for the respective users. So that I'm going to explain. So everybody, please make a note of it. So name and then set preferences. If you want to change, for example, I'm using DDMMYY, but if you want to change it to any other date format, you can go. But the topic why I come here, go to our general ledger preferences. Default category accrual for a GL, business unit, which I set it as a default for my own, and dashboard, my ledger with my default period, January 2025. Save. Any set preferences, if you are going to modify, it won't be inherited automatically. For that, you have to sign out and sign in. You have to sign out and then sign in. It is nothing but user or personal profile in our EBS. So now I will navigate to payable and then invoices. And then task panel, create invoice. Now our my business unit will be defaulted automatically. Will be defaulted automatically. The respective user can set these preferences. It will come automatically. Now listen carefully. Let it be 22nd Jan. No problem. The immediate payment term, we set it under invoice option. The moment if I select supplier, this will change automatically. Check it out. So business unit, invoice option. Invoice option under business unit level. The moment if I select the supplier, what we overridden, that will be defaulted. Clear? We selected the term date basis for invoice date. So this is not the due date. It will take from this date onwards to derive the due date based on the payment term. Clear? Super. So what are all the type of invoices are there? Why withholding tax it's not coming here? Reason we have not enabled under business unit level. Why invoice group it's not mandatory? Because we have not set it as require invoice grouping checkboxes. But even though we can capture, but it's not mandatory. Why the currency is there and also drop down is there? So allow multiple currency, that is user entry currency enabled. Otherwise, it will be grayed off. Even after save, it will be grayed off. So now I'm going to select, this is the supplier invoice number 001. Everybody can use except A0. I mean, A00, you can change it to your prefix, remaining ditto. Amount 10,250. This is nothing but whole invoice amount, the paper document given by your supplier. If you are entering manual invoice, there is no purchase order and there is no matching and against your go to task, not required. If it is manual invoice, which is not required, expand the line. So immediately, the moment if you select the supplier on the top, when you selected a line, you can see that the item is the type, distribution is the, I mean, like a freight and miscellaneous, tax and withholding taxes and all. When you enable, it will come. So now I'm going to select 10,000 is our rent expenditure. So rent expenditure, I've given 7420 account code. 7420, it's an account code. So our Joyce madam says, hey Bhaskaran, same percentage, instead of 7420, I want different account code with the same percentage. How to use it? Go to view, column, and then overlay account. You can disable first and then again enable second. And then enable second. And then you can see that it will come here. It will come here. If I use 7530, what is the meaning? Instead of 7420, system will take the percentage. It will replace 7420 to 7530. So that is called overlay account segment. Likewise, cost center is there. Balancing segment is there. Even you can override our natural account for overlay account segment or cost center. What is the prerequisite? It will work when you are using distribution set. When you are using a distribution combination, overlay, it won't work. Clear? Navneet, Abhijan?
Yes,
Clear?
Bhaskar.
Himanshi, all are clear, ma?
Yeah.
Super Raja. Now I can click on save. So what will happen? So I can show you one more tab. Open my Dev 58. Manage payment term. I'm sorry, distribution set. Manage distribution set. Select the distribution set related to Bhaskaran rent. Bhaskaran rent. You can see that 7420, 210 department, 310 department, 350 department. If you want to change the company, you have to choose the BSV. If you want to change unique cost center for all the three, you can use cost center. But most of the time I used in real time either from company code or from our natural account code. So now instead of 7420, I overlaid through the override account 7530. Now I can enter the next line. So freight charges. So the moment I change it item to freight, immediately distribution set, it will vanish. Why? Because distribution set only for line item, not for tax or freight or miscellaneous. Clear? Right. So let me enter 250 as a freight charges. Where this account code is coming from? Anyone?
Bhaskar, and one more thing, like in the distribution set, if we use the three natural accounts.
If we use
Different natural accounts, like for all the three lines, three different natural accounts.
if you
In
want
that
that, you
case-
can override manually.
Okay.
Raja, my question, right? See, I have electricity charges. Example. Okay.
Okay.
In that electricity charges, I have a percentage called 25:35:40. The department is 210, 310, 375 or 350. That is not changed. Previously for rent, I have 7420. Correct?
Yes.
Instead of this, you can use the overlay. But your question, can I use first account X, second account Y, third account Z, overlay? It's not allowed. Got it?
Yes.
Navneet, understood, right?
Yes.
Similarly, cost center, if you want to change all the three, it will change it to single cost center. It's not like an individual line. Clear? But what is the advantages of overlay, right? When same percentage of account allocation, or you can say distribution, if you want to give it to different replacing another account, it is useful, otherwise optional. Clear? Navneet, comfortable?
Yes,
Super.
Bhaskar. Yeah.
Okay, Sai,
Yeah, Bhaskar.
any questions? Pa?
No.
Right, fine. So now let me click on distribution. So this distribution, initially where my cursor has been placed, for that it will come automatically. Then you can change it to like a specific line, or like a all you can select. Like all you can select. When you see here, your trainer, he just now mentioned 7420. All the three will be replaced to 7530. Check it out. Elmer, comfortable? Super. So it is useful when you are replacing all the percentage to one natural account or one cost center or one BSV. Otherwise, waste. So this is the first topic. You people can straight away use rent alone. Let me click on save and create. Next. Second invoices for the same supplier. So INV 002. INV 002. 11,000 I can enter. Expand the line. 11,000 I can enter. So what is application flow? What we are going to set it in the higher level. It can be accepted or overridden. Now I'm going to type 11,000. If I detach and attach, so this line can supersede your supplier site assignment. Clear? Clear, everyone? Super. Now save and create. Next. Second invoice over. What is the third invoice? I told you I'm going to enter 4 invoices. So invoice number 003, amount 12,000. Click on expand. And then this time I will detach. This time I will detach rent and then attach my telephone. Attach my telephone. Let me click on save. So the previous one which I missed it out to show the distribution line. Now, if you see the telephone, what will happen, right? So it will pick the account code, the amount, it becomes 0. User can type the account and amount manually. Clear? That is called skeleton or zero distribution set. Distribution set, it is useful for end users to avoid or kind of like, mistakes related to punching the account code. Otherwise, distribution set, it's not mandatory. So now I can say 7,000 and 5,000 respectively. Manually I entered. This has to tally here. If the tick mark it's not there, instead of 49999, you can see that exclamatory means out of balance. In EBS it is coming under red color. It is not allowed for validation. Clear? So now I can say 12,000, save and close, and then save and close. The second one I missed it out. If I click on that recent info tile, it will show you what is my incomplete invoices at the moment. So now if I click on distribution, entire amount, it will goes to advertisement. Entire amount, it will goes to advertisement. Clear? Super. Now if I override, which is the highest? If now I'm going to override, then what will happen? Which is the highest? So the distribution line is the highest. Distribution set, it will default some account code, which is the highest in Oracle application. Distribution line window, not the distribution set. Clear? Fourth invoice. Fourth invoice without distribution set. Without distribution set, what will happen? Anyone?
We have to enter distribution combination.
Account as well as amount we have to enter manually. Super, Raja. account as well as amount we have to enter manually, where either if it is only one amount, you can capture here. If it is more than one account, then you have to capture in the distribution line window. Clear? Clear? So let me type 21074, or you can go to our distribution line window. You have to enter it manually. You have to enter as many lines also possible. If it is a one line, it is you can enter in the line window. More than one, you can enter it here. Even though you enter it, it's coming here. You can change. It will change here. Which is the highest? Distribution line is the highest than your line. So now I can enter 8,000. Add another row. Add another row. 5,000. It is 310 department. So now I can save. So now I'm going to explain what is validation. Validation is nothing but, so now I want to make a payment for this particular invoice. So I want to make a payment for this particular invoice. Before that, I want to give you a small info. So anything if you want to do, like, information, send it to GL. GL knows only one language, it is called journal entry. So what all we are creating an invoice that we can't send it to GL. That is why we are converting through the SLA by way of journal entry. It will be sent it to GL based on the date or individual invoice that is possible. In that circumstances, so debit, it will take it from distribution. Credit, it will take it from show more under accounting tab, your liability code. Either you can accept or overridden. This will supersede your supplier site. Clear? Charmin,
Yes.
all are clear, right? Eliza, super. So now I want to explain what is the next one, which is due date here, where we can find out due date for this particular invoice. Anyone? So two places.
Manage installment.
Two places we can find out our due dates. Due date from our Fusion application invoice window. One, our friend says it is under manage installments. We can find out the due date. Absolutely right. Pay group, payment method, your bank account related to supplier, all it will come. Splitting also allowed. Condition, if you are enabling, allow recalculate scheduled payment. Also, due date can be editable. Condition, allow recalculate scheduled payment. Checkbox got enabled. Clear? So that means even though if I change it to 23rd, what is the meaning? So installment can supersede your payment due date. Clear? That is why in the application flow, distribution line, and then so what we are capturing in the line, the distribution line you can override. So that is the highest. Similarly, what all it's coming like a due date with the help of payment term, what we are changing, that it will supersede your supplier site as well as your invoice payment term, etc. So that is why Oracle they have given application flow. So now where we can find out our due date, I said, number one, either manage installment. Number two, there is an hyperlink called either validated or not validated icon. There also you can find out what is our due date. Two places we can find out our due date. Clear? Participant, clear?
Yes.
Super, Sai. Thank you very much. So now I will move on to our, so this is the status. So totally 4 statuses are there related to your standard debit memo, credit memo, other than prepayment I told you. So first one is not validated. Second, we have to validate. So before validate, I want to do a create accounting. Sorry, before doing a create accounting, this invoice must be validation. So without a validation, accounting also not possible. Similarly, the payment also it's not possible. Clear? So what is the meaning of validation in Oracle application? We are just verifying The system is verifying all the mandatory field, header to line to distribution, all the balances are tallied, everything is pakka, then only it is valid document. So before validation, deletion is allowed. After validation, deletion it's not allowed. Either cancellation can be used. You have to use cancellation for that respective. So now I'm going to do validation. Validation can be done in several methods. Method number 1. So if the privileges are available for the respective user in the respective invoice creation window itself, we can validate number 1. Number 2, we can go in our info tile window. What are all incomplete you can select and then click on the corner and validate. This is method number 2. Method number 4, you can navigate to your manage invoices or through the magnifier. You can select what is your business unit and what is the date you want to validate, or you can select your supplier also. You can select your supplier also. This information you can save also possible as a default. Set you can as a default. Automatic, normally I never enable. It is depending upon the user, you can enable this. Now if I search, all the 4 invoices will come. There also you can select like what are all the invoices, either with the shift or control you can select. Either by button or through action you can do that. Most of the companies are using the method called running or scheduling our concurrent request. That is called validate invoices through the scheduled process with the help of navigator, or you can directly navigate to tools scheduled process, select the program name called validate payable invoice, and you can select the parameter for which is the date or whatever it is, or you can leave it as blank. What all the periods are open, and you can select an advanced, and then you can go to your schedule option. So what you want to do at as soon as possible, or you can use like only one time tomorrow at 8 o'clock, or every 1 hour it has to run, or like every daily at what time or which is the time. Anything you can very well schedule it. That is also possible. Then similarly, notification, who are all going to receive it, that recipient, what is the mail you are going to give. When the condition is success only, I want to send this confirmation to my manager. Likewise, we can create a notification also possible. Notification also possible. But I completed all the 4 through our this particular window itself. So I don't want. Now I want to explain what is create accounting. What is create accounting? Create accounting, it's nothing bad. So what all we have just created. So we have used the control account called 2210 for our class. That is called accounts payable or sundry creditor. That control account, what is the balance in GL at the moment? Anyone? What is the balance related to 01 000 2210 00? What is the balance in GL at the moment? Imansh?
Should be 0.
It should be 0. Okay. Any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer? Because it's a right answer, and that's why. So accounting, it's unaccounted. What all the accounting statuses are there in Oracle? One is unaccounted, second one draft, third one is accounted. Accounted means it is final. So this will be splitted into 2 parts. This will be splitted into 2 parts. Number one, everybody listen. In the action window, let me take the invoice number 1. Let me take the invoice number 1. Click on the hyperlink. In the invoice action, I can do accounting draft. What is accounting draft? Only 2 methods of accounting which is available in our invoice action window. One is draft. Another one is final post. Draft means after a draft accounting, it is hanging in the subledger level, which is not gone to our GL. Even editing it's possible. It never pass a rectification. It will replace the modification. So that is called draft. So let me explain now. So now the account code 4 debit, 1 credit, 4 debit, 1 credit. How it has come? 3 from the line 1. Then this is our second one. So that is nothing but our freight charges. So all the 4, it is coming from our distribution line window. Liability 10,250. It is a draft accounting. Now that 350 department for 4,000. Okay. Now I want to change it to 375. Listen. 375. Let me change it. And then save and close. Whenever you do any changes, you must revalidate. Now I'm going to do like a post to GL. Post to GL. This is the second method. So now if I click on view accounting, so what is happened? It is called final here, and then all the same, but it replaced from 350 to 375. So once the final accounting has been completed, if you go and change, it is not possible. For that, we have to use reverse topic. Raja, you have to reverse a line. So that I will explain separately. So now, what is the meaning of reversal? I will come next. So now I click on save and close. This is our respective, our action window. Second one, I'm going to explain under concurrent request window. You can click on create accounting from here, or you can go to tools scheduled process, and then yesterday or day before yesterday during the security topic, there is a question has come. Bhaskaran, when we are associating employee as an abstract role. So employee as an abstract role. So go to our Springboard. Tools and then scheduled process. So that employee abstract role, it will allow us to navigate to this window. That's all. Which program allowed for user, that will be decided by your privileges related to duty role. Clear? Imanshi, understood, Raja?
Yes.
So now create accounting, I'm searching. Why? Because accounts payable manager, it is already associated to our role. So that's why it's coming here. Got it, Raja? Super. So now either through the navigator or you can come here. So I can select like a payable. Ledger, I can select here. Imanshi, can you tell me now? So if I leave it as blank, it is for either invoice or a payment together. Now if I select, what is the meaning of accounting this?
This means not final accounting will be done, only draft.
This is a draft, correct? So which is not transferred to GL, correct? Super. Now, what's the meaning?
Final accounting is done, but the amount is not transferred to GL.
Absolutely correct, Raja. The difference between the first one and second one, draft editable, final which is not editable, even though which is not transferred to GL, which is possible under scheduled process, not possible under invoice action. Clear?
Okay, but for example, if we run this accounting, so
what will happen? It will hanging in the subledger, not editable mode.
Okay, and how we can again transfer it to GL?
2 minutes. Next topic. Just 2 minutes. Okay. All right. Because many people are not aware of this, Imanshi. We know only like a draft and post to GL. Correct?
Yeah.
I know. So now, what is this?
The journals that will be made, that will be in unposted status.
It will create a final accounting. It will transfer to GL as an unposted mode. Bale. Super. Next. What is this? This is we already seen in our invoice action window. What is that? Draft one, another one post to GL. Clear?
Yes.
Right. So now I'm going to explain very important topic. All the participants, you can answer me. See, Oracle, they have given through the SLA, there is a 2 programs. One is post subledger journal entry. Another one, create accounting. Raja, clear? One is post subledger journal entry and then create accounting. So create accounting program Oracle, they have given for the purpose of any validated transaction. whether it is a AP or a AR or anywhere, doesn't matter. Any validated in AR, it is called completed. So those transaction, if it is unaccounted also, it will pick. If it is dropped also, it will pick. Raja, if it is final, it will ignore. Got it? Himanshi, I will repeat. Unaccounted, create accounting program will pick. Draft also, create accounting will pick. If it is a final, you have to run another program that is called post subledger journal entries to GL. Clear?
Got it.
Right. So now over to you. Now the 4 invoices are here. Got it, Raja? 4 invoices are here. If I do like a create accounting, how many invoice system will fetch? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many invoice system will fetch?
All
Anyone
4.
can answer.
All 4.
All the 4.
Mhm.
2.
Sai says 2. Okay. Manila. You can message me also, no problem. Sai says 2. What are all those 2, Sai?
Unaccounted and draft.
Super, Raja. Very good. Why that second one?
Because it's already posted.
Himanshi madam, which is already gone to GL in posted mode, how it will be? Correct?
No, I misunderstood the question. Sorry.
No, Raja. If I run a create accounting, Himanshi, out of these 4 invoice, how many invoice system will pick? Got it?
Got it.
Now it is first and fourth. The second, it is already gone. Third, sorry, it is final. I can't do this. Take another person help. Got it? Himanshi, again over to you. If I run post subledger journal entries to GL, now tell me post subledger journal entries. How many invoice it will pick out of this 4?
1.
Which one?
That final note transferred to GL.
Super, Raja. I thought of whether you will say this. Definitely it won't pick. Only final alone, it will pick by this program. Got it? So that is why in real time, whether the people are using final, we do not know. Inadvertently, wrongly, they selected something in the final, not transferred to GL. So that your subledgers to GL, it won't tally. Correct? So to avoid that, we will run one after another program. Clear?
Yeah.
Understood? Super. So now create accounting has been. How many invoices your trainer is completed create accounting? Now, tell me, Raja. Only 1. Through our window, I say accounted only 1. Okay, so let me explain the first one. What is our supplier balance? Anyone? Can we find a supplier balances in payable in Fusion? Anyone? Open questions. Anybody can answer. Do you have a direct functionality to verify supplier due balance? Sudishna, Pratyusha, Navneet.
Can we check in supplier portal?
Where, Raja?
Supplier portal.
Okay, in the supplier portal, we can find the balance, huh?
Yeah, I think.
Raja, actually, it's under construction.
Okay.
There is no direct functionality.
Okay.
How we are giving a workaround to the client or user at the moment, right? We'll tell them to go to reports and analytics through some dashboard and we have to find. That's all. At the moment, there is no direct functionality, which is there in our EBS. Raja, clear?
Yeah.
Whereas AR, which is their direct functionality, in AP, it is under construction. Unfortunately, why Oracle they are delaying? Supplier is want to buy procurement now. Clear? That is why some confusion is happening. They are going to give a solution very soon. Clear? Listen, I can show you. Oh, some problem. Okay. Fine. I can show you in different one. It's okay. Let me rectify this later. Okay, fine. So we can find out from our dashboard, we can create our own customized one and we can give it to them accordingly. They can throw the parameter and they can find the balances. That's all. But there is no direct functionality available, similar like our AR in our AP. So now, what is the difference between the balances between GL and AP at the moment? Anyone? What is the GL balance?
GL balance will be only the one which will be accounted one.
Okay. So 11,000, 12,000, 13,000. Okay. So what is the balance in GL? What is the balance in AP? Supplier balance. Anyone? He said this is 10,250. Correct?
AP maybe a bit, it's 10,250 only, I think.
Is it
Because
so?
the rest of them
Are you
are
sure?
not accounted.
Are you sure? Raja, I will repeat. Supplier balance and reconciliation, once it is validated, it will consider whether it is accounted or not. It's totally different. Clear?
Okay. Okay.
I am intimating to central government call general ledger. But I made the payment or I made the invoice and validated means it is allowed for calculating the due balances. Clear?
Yeah.
Is it clear? So 46,250 is the right answer. Comfortable? Can we check it out? Right. If I want to check it out, the payable to general ledger reconciliation, that feature is owned by S-Base. What is S-Base? So we have like one is Oracle database, another one S-Base database. So it's a second vessel. So what all we are entering: validation, invoice creation, payment creation, accounted, transferred, not transferred, passing adjustment, everything by default it will goes to Oracle database. Comfortable, Imanshi? Right.
Yeah.
But that information, we are not running this payable to general ledger reconciliation with the help of this database. So Oracle database, it is not sufficient. We have to push before that reconciliation. That can be done from Oracle database to S-Base database. Clear? Then only we will get our updated balances here. For that, Oracle, they have given one particular steps here. Let me show you. Number one. Everybody listen. Number one. So manage value set. Manage chart of account value set. In Fusion compared to EBS, Oracle. So anybody can tell me what is the value set name for Bhaskaran? For account? Through the Excel rapid template. For other participant, account A01 US, correct? For all participant, account A01. For Bhaskaran, it is A00 US, correct? And then manage value. My liability code, it is 2210. Then you should select your financial category as an accounts payable. If this category got selected, when we are doing a payable to general ledger reconciliation, no need to select your code combination filter manually. Clear? If the financial category got selected, no need to give code combination filter during our payable to ledger reconciliation. If not selected, you must do this. If not selected, you have to do this. So what is the steps? let me show you. So in my window, it is 45th number, financial category for 2210. Just now I show it to you. Push the balances from Oracle database to Sbase. You have to run this program. Prepare payable to general ledger reconciliation. Similarly, for receivable, prepare receivable to general ledger reconciliation. So that you have to run first. Without run, if I want to click on that payable to general ledger reconciliation, what will happen? I can show you. What will happen? I can show you. So simply it will say there is no LOV here, because we have not pushed anything. So that request ID, it won't come. So we unable to see the balances here. We are unable to see the balances here. Raja, clear? So that is why the pushing has to be done from our Oracle database to Sbase database. For that, we have to run one program, prepare payable to general ledger reconciliation. That is the program. Prepare payable to general ledger reconciliation. So let me click on my Springboard. And then tools, schedule to process. Tools, schedule to process. Again and again I'm coming. So what I will do, I can do my add favorites. That is called monitor process or scheduled process. Scheduled process. So click on new process. Payable to prepare payables to general ledger reconciliation. Prepare a transaction, either an invoice or a payment, everything related to payable to general ledger, all will be pushed from Oracle database to our Sbase database. Normally we will give date and time. Date and time. I'm giving AP request 1 related to Bhaskaran, all business unit, or this particular ledger only one business unit, pertaining to which accounting period? That is nothing but January 2025. And then I can select. So no need to select this filter. Why? Because financial category. So if you want more than one account code, for that one you have a filter. Another one, if you don't have a filter, then another you have not selected a financial category, then the filter conditions are mandatory. Now I am not selected any filter condition. Now I am submitting. The financial category, it's very powerful in our Fusion application. So the pushing is happening now. The pushing is happening now. It will trigger some sub-program also. Once it's completed, the original program will be succeeded. Once it's completed, the original program will be succeeded. Super. Now I can move on to invoice workbench. Payable, invoice workbench. I'll go to add favorites. Invoice workbench. Task panel, and then payable to ledger reconciliation. Payable to ledger reconciliation. So the answer should be, for a GL it is 10,250. For payable it should be 46,250. The difference, it is nothing but 36,000. It will show you other 3 invoices. It is validated, unaccounted. There is a difference will come. That is also, it is allowed to export to export to Excel or CSV file possible. Maybe server is a little bit slow. So today I'm just giving a recapping. So today the participant has to complete first one, provide the data access. And then LDAP, procurement agent, payment term. One, you get an access. One, you can get an access. Other two, either you can get an access from my payment term, or you can associate your RDS. The next one, lookups. Try to create one lookups for pay group and one lookups for our supplier. Supplier, it's optional. If you want, you can create for supplier also. Under procurement, your number, supplier. Next common option, you took a screenshot. Invoice option, payment option, distribution set, rent, advertisement, telephone, 0%. Supplier, we created 4 blocks. Bank, branch, bank account, completed. Payable document, payment process profile, standard check, completed. Open a period for AP and GL and AP, over. Manual invoice, standard, I just completed just now. In that, 4 invoices I created. So, with what is validation? Supplier balance unable to show you, and then journal entry and other things and all I will show you now. So these are all, if you want, you can do reconciliation. Otherwise, what is the lab I have already given here. After the break, if you want some of the other transaction, I can explain up to this. Otherwise, I will hand over the session. You can do your lab. So wait a minute, it is very slow. Because as it's connect through our S-based database. That is why this is a problem. Okay, right. Meanwhile, we'll go for a break. After the break, you let me know whether I can proceed with the topic, because the table of content which I already given to your management, we are half a day delay. That is, ignore the table of content. I thought of I want to teach you all. In that circumstances, whether on the third day we are in a track or not, I can show you. So first day over, second day. So up to this we have completed. Third day we are there at the moment. So some more other topics are there. If I cover, it will be in time. Otherwise, so many other setups are there. If you feel, then I will hand it over the session. So till 5 o'clock in front of me, you can complete. Otherwise, till 4:30, I will complete the session and then you can leave. So that we will decide after the break, 15 minutes break. So let me share my screen. So the reconciliation, it's not working. I can show you later. Now I will verify the journal entries in the GL, which I transferred to GL related to 10,250 worth of journal. Navigate to general accounting and then journal. Anybody, can you tell me what is the journal sources for AP? What are all the categories are for AP? Journal categories for AP. Anyone?
Categories are accrual.
For AP? Source?
Source is payables.
Super. So at the moment I transferred from invoice workbench. So then the category is purchase invoices. Purchase invoices and payment, which is there as a default. How the system will pick when we are entering a transaction, when we are transferring the journal entries to GL. So system will take it from our subledger accounting method. Subledger accounting options. subledger accounting options. In the subledger accounting options related to our primary ledger, if you search in EBS, it is there in our accounting status manager. So related to payable, let me click. In the accounting option, if I click, it will show you what are all the event class we are just using it, like, invoice. So it will go like a purchase invoices as a category seeded given by Oracle. If you want, if you want, we can very well change it to some other category. We can create our own category also possible. The sources, it's nothing but payable. The sources, it is nothing but payable. Sources, it is nothing but payable. Category for credit memo, debit memo, expenses report, invoices, prepayment, and then apply prepayment, standard invoice, all are purchase invoice, remaining all are payment. After reconciled, is there any informations are there? Then accounting entry like a cash clearing to cash, then reconciled payments are there. Anything we are going to create an entry under SLA, then other will be defaulted. This is our default category related to our AP module. So now let me navigate to our general ledger. Journal, task panel, the one which I did, still it's running. So no problem, I will rectify and then I will show you tomorrow. So now I can go to manage journal. Search for, like, the 2 asterisk, at least one is mandatory. Source is payable. Category is purchase invoices. Clear? Only related to 10,250. Other, if you want, you have to transfer all. To verify your supplier balance, we should know, customer control account balance. Go to general accounting and period close. Child balance can be enjoyed through inquiry on detailed balance. Inquiry on detailed balance. Period January 25. Company and then liability intercompany. I'll select from the list of value. Then it will show you minus 10,250. Any questions? Himanshi, Sudeshna, all are clear?
Yes.
Super. So reconciliation I can show you. Maybe I'll rectify during my offline and then I will let you know. The next topic, what I'm going to explain, that is called split, like split installment and then reverse line, cancel line are discarded and then cancel invoice. One by one, I'm going to complete. Today around 4:30, I will conclude my session. I will hand it over to you. The Excel, I will send it to you. You try to complete at least some of the transaction up to reconciliation and AP setups and those transactions you would cover. So if you are completing everything, I will be very happy. That Excel I will give you. So now I will move on to our next topic, payable and invoices. So the topic what I'm going to explain. So in our invoice option, we enable one checkbox called like, allow recalculate scheduled payment. If you do that, so what will happen? I can show you. So select my invoice number 2. What is the payment term I selected? Now I can go to manage installments. You can do our automatic installment through our payment term. Manual also possible. Change it to 6,000 and split. It will convert it as a 2-line. It will convert it as a 2-line. This is possible because of our recalculate scheduled payment. Also, you can change your due date, very well possible. Like a installment payment. This is called split installment. This will supersede your payment term. Next. Next, I'm going to explain the topic called reverse line. So the moment I completed post to ledger for the invoice number 002, if I navigate to my distribution button, so there is a entire 11,000, it goes to 175,710 account. Once the final accounting has been completed, we cannot change. Now the general ledger wala says this 175, it's not the right cost center. You have to change it to 210. Then you can select and reverse. It will create a minus 11,000 automatically. Now your distribution amount becomes 0 and then exclamatory will come. That is called out of balance. Now I can enter the right entry for 11,000 with different natural account code or different cost center. So this is called like a reversal line. This is called a reversal line. Anything if you modified, you must revalidate. Then we can verify our accounting. The first one I did like a final accounting. Now I'm going to do like a partial accounting. If you are not done, it will show you as a partial. It will show as a partial. What is the meaning of partial? The first entry with the 175, which is already gone to GL. Now the 310. So 175 will be credited. 175 to be credited and then 310 to be debited with the compensating liability code in a different place. Understood? Is it clear, everyone? What is the first entry? What is the first entry? This is our first entry, final. What is the second entry? Which I reversed it. So what will happen? So 175 got credited for that one liability code. And then 310 got debited for that liability code. Net liability, if you knocked off, then what will happen? 175 will be knocked off. So it will replace 175 to 310. So this is how the rectification or reversal, it can be passed through our posted entry also. For example, original entry which I completed in the month of Jan, now the reversing I'm doing it in the month of February. Those entry it is allowed to transfer to GL in that respective February period. Clear, 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 clear everyone? Super. Any questions? Himanshi? No.
No.
Are you sure? Accounting related, na? And that's right. Right. So now I'm going to explain, like, the next invoice, I will take 3. This invoice, actually, I wrongly entered a line. So if I click on here and delete, sorry, that status is validated. You are not allowed to delete. Similarly, invoice deletion also not allowed. Once invoice validated, we are not allowed to delete either a line or like a invoice header. Now, if you say cancel line, many people are thinking, okay, it is 0. To be honest, it is not coming as a 0 here. It is coming 0, but in the distribution, positive and all negative, negative and all positive, it will created by the system automatically. Clear? Nelmer, Himanshi, all are clear? So can I validate this invoice? Definitely not. Why? Because header to line, it's not tally. Then we have to create another line and then you have to complete this task. Comfortable? Even a single line account, we can give it here. And then save and then revalidate. And then revalidate. Once validated, we can't do cancel. So prerequisite for cancel a line or cancel an invoice. So original invoice must be validated. Original invoice must be validated. If I cancel this invoice, then what will happen? So it becomes zero. Not only that, this as money line also zero. Not only that, your entire distribution positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive. Then the net also should be zero. So what are all partial accounting, that is remaining accounting also to be cancelled information also to be transferred to GL. Clear? Clear, everyone? Super. So next I will move on to the topic called what is allocation. So if I go here, so I completed cancel invoice header line, reverse line, split completed. Now I'm going to explain invoice group. Invoice group. So today I'm going to cover up to this topic, and then I will you can leave the meeting. Even we can leave the meeting. You try to cover. So these are all, it's a demo by trainer. No need to do cancel and all. If you want, you can do. Otherwise, if I say there is no lab, if you do it, no problem. So reverse line. So that is only by trainer. So remaining and all, I'm going to give you a lab. Overview means no lab. Overview means no lab. So credit memo lab, this is overview. What about multi-accounting? And then these are all I will tell you maybe tomorrow. Let me go with this phase and then we will decide. This Excel will be given to you. So even if you are not completing this task today, at least you can cover this. Tomorrow we can cover remaining. I have no problem. So because for a consultant point of view, so setups is very important. Remaining and all, if you try here and there, it is well and good. Even you create 2-3 invoices, well and good. Now I will move on to invoice group. Even though in the manage invoice option, even though we are not enable the checkboxes, very well create our invoice grouping possible. So how to create invoice grouping? So Bhaskaran supplier. So Bhaskaran batch 001. Invoice under this batch INV BAT 1. So 14,000. No problem related to payment term. No problem related to distribution set. 14,000 I can enter. Save and create next. This batch name, it won't vanish. It is very well available here. Now I can enter INV BAT to 15,000. Expand the line. I can enter 15,000. So now I just save and close. What is the advantages? Which user, how many invoices they created or completed in a day, that we can easily identify. Number 2, searching of information. Normally we will go with your supplier. Now you can search with your invoice group also possible. Under the group, how many invoices are there? That is also easily identified. Those group alone, you can validate possible. Through your payment process request. So there is a 4 parameter given by Oracle for auto selection of invoices. One is supplier or payee. 2, supplier type. 3, pay group. 4, invoice batches also or grouping also very well available. Now the question from the participant, can I include same batch, one more invoice? In that circumstances, you should know what is your invoice batch number or name. Now I can go and create another invoice. The same batch or a group, I will paste it here. Now I'm going to select the same supplier and I'm entering another invoice. It is 16 or 17,000. Why, Bhaskaran, you are entering like a different amount? If I entered same amount, what will happen? That is also I want to show you for my participant. So 11,000. If I save, there is a message will come. This amount with this same supplier and site, which is very well available. Do you want to continue? Because there is a duplicate, there is a kind of like, information. I told you in the option, you can allowed or not, you can enable there. Otherwise, just continue, again save, and then validate. It will accept. So now again, I will navigate to, that is why I've given 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, etc. So now I can navigate to our, so how to prevent or how to remove this, that is also possible. And then I can paste here and search. Now 3 invoices are available. If you want to validate those 3 invoices, straight away you can select on the corner and validate. This must be validated at one shot. So this is how, like, invoice grouping has been completed. The next topic I'm going to explain, spreadsheet invoices. Spreadsheet invoices. For that, we should install ADF/DI software. I think it is already installed for you. Those who are not installed, no worries. So just the 2 topics for AP module. One is spreadsheet, another one is recurring invoices. Payment, there is no spreadsheet at all in our AP module under Fusion. So what is spreadsheet invoice? I'm going to show you. First, I install the software. Second, I have to download. Don't worry. If you go to your debit memo, credit memo, remaining and all, I will explain next. So if you see that, so what are all the topic your trainer has completed? Standard invoice, 4 are invoices completed. What is create accounting? What is post sub ledger journal entry? Over. Invoice grouping? Over. And then split invoice? Over. Cancel? Over. And then freight invoices are there. Let me complete spreadsheet and then I will come to freight. So these are all very easy way you can do your own lab with the help of this particular Excel possible. Spreadsheet, navigate to payable invoice, create invoice in spreadsheet. There is a task panel, and then you are going to give a enable macros and you have to give login credential. So task panel and then create invoice from spreadsheet. Create invoice from spreadsheet. It will download one file. It will download one file. For a rapid, so ADF/DI, which is not mandatory, for spreadsheet, so yes, it is definitely mandatory. So we have to give login kind of our username and password. I have given different username and password. So let me sign in. I'm sorry. I've given a wrong one. Okay, let me close. Downloads. And then quick invoices. Downloads, quick invoices. And then sign in. It's accepted now. So in a single invoice, I want to enter more than one line. How to enter through spreadsheet? That is also I'm going to explain. First one, I have to select my business unit. First one, I'm going to select my business unit. Import set, it is like, Oracle says, to be honest, I will tell you. So like a user perspective point of view, we can upload like a spreadsheet invoices. If I enter a 2000 line, out of 100, I want entered like a kind of like, set. You can say 11111 for first 100, 2222222 for second 100. Likewise, you can enter. Otherwise, import set, it's an optional. Invoice number, SS001. Invoice currency, you can type it fully. If you type partially, it will shout like a tab and all. Otherwise, you have to drop down and you have to select. So, USD tab. Invoice amount, you can say 11,100. Invoice date, as for your Excel, what is the date format? Like a DD, MM, YYY or MM, DD, YYY has to be followed. If you give a wrong one, it will shout. For example, today's date, it is 22nd Jan. So I'm going to give 01 22 2025. Whether it is a right or wrong, how we will identify? I can show you. When I double click this field, if it is a right date format, it will fetch it from our Oracle application. Otherwise, error it will show here. Got it? Error it will show here. So how to rectify the error? So you have to correct our date format. And now if I double click, so it will fetch it from our Oracle application. Got it? Sometimes some script error will come. Just remove it and then select my supplier and then search it. Select and OK. So when two asterisks are there, at least one is mandatory. Single asterisk are there. So as it is, you have to type. Otherwise, double click and you have to type. Especially 24D, there is one problem. What is that? So many of the field, while you are copying the space dot also, it is very much considering. You should be very careful when you are going to upload through spreadsheet. Now I'm going to select site from the list of value. Site from the list of value. Payment currency, it's not mandatory. If you are not selected, it will take it from our supplier site assignment automatically. Supplier site automatically. So payment currency USD. Description spreadsheet invoice. Line number 1, item 11,000. If you want to enter the account code, you can do. If you want distribution set, then this is called like, hidden. You can bring it here. It is hidden. You can bring it here. Then the distribution set will come. Otherwise, all if you want to remove, right click and unhide, it will come automatically. So now I can enter straight away 2107530. 2107530. So now I will move on to our second line. What is the limitation of this spreadsheet, right? Everybody listen. This header, instead of 2, you have to change it to number 1. Same invoice. Number 2, even though it is grade off, business unit must be selected. It is there in your display formula bar. It is there in the display formula bar, but it won't visible here. Remaining straight away, you should go right and then enter your second line with respect to freight. You can select from the drop down and then 100 you can type. So now I can enter the account code 01407220 and then 00. Now I can submit. So 1 invoice, 2 line, it is very well uploadable. So what is the condition? Header identifier has to be changed. Also, business unit must be selected. Now I can select my business unit here. Second, no invoicing group, no import set, no kind of like, grouping and all. Straight away submit. Straight away submit. Row inserted successfully. Row inserted successfully. Now let me navigate to our Oracle application. So refresh here that SS invoice, it is very well available. SS invoice, it is very well available. It is very well available. How it has come? So if I click on here, it will show you like a 11,100, 11,100. What is the code combination I've given? It will come automatically. It can be accepted or overridden. Interview question, when we are doing like a FBDA or a spreadsheet, what is the status that particular invoices it will be uploaded, not validated, unaccounted related to account status. Any questions related to this spreadsheet invoices? I will repeat, for FBDA 300,000 line I uploaded. For spreadsheet I used up to 1,000 line. Oracle says bulk we can use always FBDA. Clear? Himanshi, Pratyusha, any questions?
No.
Pavani?
No.
Okay. Right. Next one. So next one I'm going to explain, that is called freight charges is the topic. Freight charges is the topic. What is freight charges? See how you are going to record the freight charges directly as a freight, or automatic allocation, or manual allocation. So that is why Oracle, they have given some kind of a feature. Distribution set can be associated only to the item. Line item, not for tax or a freight or miscellaneous. So I'm going to teach you three information for this particular topic. Three information for this particular topic. So one, you can see that. So whether the freight has to be accounted as a freight. So which I completed for 10,250 topic. Second, $100. So the freight charges, if you want to keep it as a freight, which is completed. Instead of this, it has to go in this ratio 20:30:50, prorate across all line. There is a checkbox, or allocate all lines. If you select, it will go to the item cost itself. The next one, manually allocate, and you can choose like a prorate or manually you can enter. So how to enter these two, I'm going to explain. So for that, I'm going to use different three account. Then only I can explain this topic very easily. So navigate to our payable invoices. Payable invoices. Task panel. Create invoice. Select my supplier. Freight amount, you can say like 10,100. Two invoice I'm going to create. One for automatic allocation. Automatic allocation, all line. Another one for specific line. So first one I enter 10,000. So I don't want to give any distribution. Straight away I can give 210,7530. So this is, I want to give again 2,000 first. Second, 3,000. Second, 3,000. It is 310,7420. Fourth one, advertisement I want. It is 175,710. The moment if you select your freight, I told you already. So this distribution set will goes off. In that circumstances, how we are going to use allocate? So method number one, either prorate across all item you can enable, or allocate all line, one and the same. If you do that, what the system will do, it will take the ratio, it will pick the account code, and it will allocate this 100 in that particular ratio to this account code with the freight classification type automatically. This is called in EBS prorate across all line. Here also the same. When you are doing like allocate all line, do not place the cursor 4 and click on distribution. If you do that, it will shout, because which is not created by me, it will shout, this is not a error. You place the cursor in 3 and then click on distribution. You never get this error here, because that distribution got created by the system automatically. Now you select all line, then all the 6 lines, it will come automatically. Any questions? Sai? Navneet?
Yeah, no questions.
No, Bhaskar.
So the next topic I'm going to explain, like, the freight with our specific line. Specific line. So Bhaskaran FRT 002 amount, you can say 10,100. Expand the line. Now place the cursor. 2000. Account code 01 210 7530. Second, zero 01 310 7530. Instead of 75, I can put 7420. 7420. Next one, 5,000. It is 175 7110. One 7110. Five thousand 175 110. Now I can select freight from the drop down 100. So instead of prorate across, you can place the cursor in freight or a miscellaneous. You can use allocate drop down. So allocate for other than item, distribution set only for item. So now I can click on specific line. It will open another window. It will open another window. It will open another window. There manually you can select or double click and you can prorate also possible. So 80 and 20 manually I can give. So instead of 6 line, now it will come 5 lines. So instead of 6 line, now it will come 5 line. So that 5 line, it's nothing but 3 for our regular item, 2 for our freight. 2 for our freight. So this is mostly in real time, the relevant freight charges also to be allocated to the respective cost center. Then we can go for it. Today it is a very less amount. In future, in real time scenario, any huge expenditure, if they don't want to book it in their cost center, the specific line, it is very useful. But we can't use anything related to our distribution set for our freight or miscellaneous. So the next topic I'm going to explain, that is called debit memo and then credit memo. Debit memo and then credit memo. Before that, is there any questions? So I created standard invoice manually with or without a group. What is validation? What is create accounting and I'll explain. And supplier balance, we have to create like a dashboard. And then second one, like, payable to general ledger reconciliation, I will rectify and I will show you. Otherwise, in a different instance, I will show you. The next one, I just explained, like, what is our, like a reverse line and then cancel line and then cancel invoices. Also, how to use our split installment under manage installments got explained. But normally, when you use your installment payment term, it will come automatically to your manage installments window. Then I explained like our spreadsheet invoices. So for that, ADF-DI software has to be installed properly. And then, so in a single invoice, if you want to enter a 2-line, so header has to be changed to the respective header, like a sequence number. Also business unit to be selected from through our formula bar. The next one I just explained, like, allocation. Allocation other than item, if you want to use like all line or a specific line, very well possible. So this is very useful for like, how it will be allocated the freight charges or miscellaneous to the respective invoice prorated amount. Next one I just explained, that is called like, I'm going to explain now. It is called debit memo and credit memo. Anybody can you tell me what is the sign for debit memo and credit memo in our AP invoices?
Negative.
Both are negative. Then why Oracle they have given 2 invoice or 2 event class?
One is for suppliers one and one is for
Any other
Sorry.
answer? Almost you are reached, Mr. Sai. Any other answer? Raja, AP point of view, we are getting a document from supplier. Based on our paper document, we are punching and we are validating and we are making a payment, correct? So when we are using a debit memo, credit memo, even in real-time scenario, Oracle or like a real-time, both are negative. Both are. So standard invoice, it is going to increase your supplier due balance. So debit memo and credit memo, it will decrease the due balance of your supplier. So both are negative. Then why Oracle they have given document generated at supplier end, supplier's end. Similar like our regular invoice, if you are getting a document from supplier and then we can punch it here, that is called credit memo. Scenario, I ordered 10 quantity, they billed 10 quantity, but we received 9 quantity, which is identified by supplier itself. A Bhaskaranji, what you ordered, we do not have a sufficient stock in the factory. So, but unfortunately that, administrative people, they raise the invoice for 10 quantity. Don't stop the invoice for making a payment. So I will raise a credit memo for -1 quantity. You just reduce and make a payment. So document generated at supplier's end. Second scenario. So initially the discount payment term, which is not discussed, it is not there in the payment term. Now, instead of I supposed to make a payment on 3rd of February, so now that supplier is insisting, if you make a payment today, I will give you 1,000 worth of like a credit memo, like a discount voucher. You can adjust and make a payment. So that is also the document is coming from our supplier. Then it is called credit memo. So what is debit memo? Normally debit memo can be used for like, return to supplier, RTS transactions. So when we are getting a goods that ship from, it is from my like, factory of, my supplier's factory, ship to, it is my factory. When I purchase return, what will happen? From my factory to supplier factory, I have to return. In that circumstances, there is no bill will be available. So because I am not the manufacturer, so that is why we are using debit memo only for return to supplier, document generated at buyer's end. That is called debit memo. Clear? Sai, understood, Raja?
Yeah, yes, Bhaskar.
Super, Raja. So now, so even some internal correction, we can use debit memo. Even we ordered 10 and we received only 10 and we reject 1, then we can use our debit memo. So debit memo normally automatically or manually it can be created. Automatically it will come through our like, ERS or pay on receipt kind of like, concurrent program. So automatically negative or a written goods, it will created negative debit memo automatically. So now I am going to explain how to create a credit memo. Credit memo means, so when we are getting a discount voucher, how we are going to punch it manually and how we are going to reduce our supplier balances, I'm going to show you. So I'll navigate to task panel and then create invoices. Task panel and then create invoices. Select my supplier from the list of value. Instead of standard, I will change it to credit memo. And then accept the warning and then CM001, I can say -1,000. So expand the line and then enter -1000. We can use distribution set also possible. Otherwise, because we are capturing as an item. Or you can enter our discount account also manually. That is also possible. If it is one account, you can specify here. More than one account, we can specify under distribution window. Let me save and then validate. What will be the accounting entry? Anyone? Normally, purchase account debtor to liability. Now, anyone can you tell me what is accounting entry? It is a ulta entry. It is a negative entry. So what we have given, the discount will be like a discount will be credited
Liability
and then
debited.
supplier liability will be debited. Clear? Abhijan, correct? No? Liability will be debited and then income will be, or like a discount taken account will be credited. So distribution line with negative, it will come ulta. Clear? Even we can use distribution set. Even we can use credit memo apply against your invoices for correction purpose also very well possible. So the next topic I'm going to explain recurring invoices. Recurring invoices. So recurring also, this is the last topic. Don't worry, participant, don't worry. And this is the last topic. Right. If you want more topics also, I'm very much no issues. Raja, you won't believe. I conducted a session in KL University, Vijayawada, for 250 participants in one hall. So, at a stage, 2 training in Oracle University for 16 hours I conducted. First 8 hours for one region, another 8 hours for another region. So, I love to teach. So, if you quiet, I will keep on giving my lecture. But you have to do a practice, right? So this is my last topic. So holes and all I will explain from tomorrow. Clear? So recurring. So recurring, it means in a single month, more than one invoice, regular spreadsheet. So more than one period, like a frequency, if you are going to upload repeatedly, then it is called recurring. So recurring, if you want to create, so 2 important information has to be captured. Number 1, ADFDA has to be installed. Number 2, special calendar. That is nothing but payable calendar. It is not our regular accounting calendar. Payable calendar can be creatable. This payable calendar can be utilized for 3 purposes. For 2 type will be given by Oracle. One is general calendar. Another one, it is called payment term. So general calendar can be used for 2 purposes. One is recurring, another one is for withholding tax. Another one for withholding tax. So 3 purposes, 2 type given by Oracle. So now manage payable calendar. Manage payable calendar. This is we are creating for the purpose of frequency. Raja, you're all okay, right? I can proceed now.
Yeah, yes, first.
Okay, Raja. So manage payable calendar. Anything related to implementation setup, each module setup or super user setup, we should supposed to come to our FSM window only. So let me click on my payment term and general purpose. So payment term, you can create a special calendar for TDS payment and then general purposes for withholding taxes as well as recurring. So I can use a recurring special calendar. It is monthly for my class. So I'm going to select 1/1/25. Select the period. It will come automatically 12 periods. You can add here also possible for subsequent. It is an excellent feature which is not there in our EBS. Let me click on save and close. So now I'm going to use our recurring templates. For that, let me navigate to my invoice workbench. Task panel. Task panel. Task panel. Recurring invoices. Recurring invoices. So let me open my download options under this recurring invoices. Recurring invoices. Enable editing. Login credential. Login credential. And then password. So for recurring, so definitely I told you, right? Like, that general purpose calendar is mandatory. Select the business unit. Note, the recurring can be uploadable either for like open period or even future period. So not allowed for never open period in EBS. It is allowed for even in Fusion. Clear? So open, future, never open period. Condition calendar should be there. If it is there, we can very well upload. I can show you my number REC001. Amount, I can say 12,500. Supplier, double click. So at the moment, my class, January is my open, February, March, April, it's my future, and then May, February, March, April. So May, I want to say, so up to 5 invoices I'm going to upload. Listen carefully. So now I can select my supplier. So these are all like a plus and minus is given by Oracle with respect to this particular recurring invoices concern. Site. Double click and then I can select. A00 space NY space SITE. So payment currency you can choose optional, but invoice currency mandatory here. So I will send you the Excel file after this topic. So 2 Excel file, I'm going to send it to you today. 1, our working board file updated. 2, I'm going to give you my payable board. So recurring invoice. Calendar name, which I created now. Let me fetch it from my LOV. Copy paste also, it is working. And then Bhaskaran, select monthly. What is my first period? So I'm going to select my January 1st. First, my January. Even you can use from February also, not a problem. So how the system will take the invoice number underscore number 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, it will fetch. So double click. I'm going to select January 2025. January 2025 and then May 2025. May 2025. May 2025. So you can use your distribution set even in EBS. So 0 distribution not allowed, which is allowed in our Fusion. Which is allowed in our Fusion. So let me select here and then OK. Amount, I'm going to specify like, line amount. You can give different also. So let it be 12,500 straight away. 12,500 straight away. Account code or distribution set, you can very well attach. Account code or distribution set, you can very well attach. So I can type the code straight away. 210-57530 or 7420. Accounting date, everything it will take it from the respective. So bill to ship to everything, it will take it from there. So now I'm going to generate. So listen carefully. I opened January, February, March, April, it is future, and May onward, it is never opened. So I selected up to May. So what is happening? Row inserted successfully. Row inserted successfully. All the 5 got created. All the 5 got created. Now let me go to my application. So refresh here. Refresh here. The invoice number 5, if I validate, sorry, it is in never open period. Needs revalidation, it will come. So it will come needs revalidation. Is a system hold held. What is a hold name? If I go to manage hold itself, it's a separate topic. I will explain tomorrow. I will explain tomorrow. So system will place the hold. That is called close period or never open period. So likewise, even it is allow us to upload not only for your open period, future and never open period also. So now I will move on to our working board. Everybody listen, I will give you working board. So recording will be uploadable in a couple of minutes. Once it is downloaded, I can upload. So morning, it's already I think downloaded, but I have not uploaded. So let me go to lab. So insert a line. And then, okay, instead of, I can say this, I can put it here. So tomorrow I will explain what is deferred expenditure or multi-period accounting. What is deferred expenditure or what is multi-period accounting? I will explain tomorrow. So day 4 agenda. So we are going to do multi-period holds, different type of holds, and like some of withholding tax setups. And then payment point of view. So what are all the different payments and all I'm going to cover. Okay. So this is the agenda for tomorrow. So the lab already mentioned here, this Excel will be sent to you through our chat window. Through our chat window. Also, the payable one also I'm going to send. So now the choice is to you. You want to leave and do your lab in the offline. And if you have any issue, if you can contact through my WhatsApp. Otherwise, in front of me, if you are doing till 5:30 also, I have no problem. Choice is to you. So I selected this and then similarly, one more file. Similarly, one more file that is called payable board. And then I sent. Please download this file. Recording, same folder. So over to you. You want to leave and do the practice, or you are going to do a practice? I will stop the recording and in front of Bhaskaran.